Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So this reading is for everyone who is in a third party situation. So either the person that you are interested in is dating someone else, seeing someone else, or maybe you're in a relationship with someone but they have an ex or someone else who's kind of interfering in the relationship in some way. Maybe you are caught between two people and you're kind of not really with either one of them, or you're with someone but you're interested in someone else. And so it's everyone who's caught in this kind of situation. I think for some of you also, less of you, but some of you, there will be situations where you're with someone but they're putting something else kind of before the relationship. So that could be their career or their studies, for example, and they have their own reasons for doing that, but it's kind of causing this situation where it feels like there's energy being put outside of the relationship in a way that's not healthy. So a quick disclaimer before we begin, especially for anyone who is new to my channel. My readings seek to empower you, so the focus will always be on you. If you are watching any of my readings, or if you get a private reading and you're asking about someone else, that's totally fine, but we will always look at the issues that are causing you to think a certain way or to feel a certain way or to act in the way that you've been acting. So I always want to make you feel stronger and more empowered moving forward so that you can live the life of your dreams. And I'm very much aware that people who are in third-party situations, for a lot of you this will be a very emotional, tense subject. So I haven't looked at the cards, I don't know what is going to come out, but I just want to say if there might be something that comes out that you would be upset or offended by, or that you would find very distressing, I just want to encourage you to click off this video now, because as much as I will deliver it in a loving and gentle way, it may be something that you're not ready to hear, or that you don't want to hear, or you don't want to be confronted with. So if you feel that you're not ready to hear what these cards have to say, or that you're not ready to really go into the situation and you'd prefer not to think about it, that's completely fine, but please do click off this video now, because I don't want anyone being angry or upset or distressed from having watched this reading. So before I show you the piles, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who is supporting me on Patreon, including Alex, Kat, Alexandra and Ashley. Thank you so much for your generous support. If you would like to help out the channel, please look in the description box. I have a link to my Patreon page. I would love it if you would check that out. We do exclusive picker cards over there, as well as a monthly prize draw to win a personal reading with me. Or if you would also like to help out the channel but you don't want to join the Patreon page, that's also great. I have a PayPal link for donations and tips for YouTube readings. And I also have an Amazon wishlist for anyone who is kind enough to want to send me a deck. Thank you so much for She's Lorny for doing that already, and to everyone who's donated so far. It really helps out the channel and helps me to get new stuff, new decks and dice and charms, etc. Anyone who's looking to book a private reading, the link to my Etsy page is in the description box as well. Please remember to leave me your question, your email address, and your name, as well as the names of anyone else involved if you're asking a question that concerns someone else as well. And I think that's everything I wanted to say, so let's get into the piles now. So we've got these Harry Potter Funko Pops on each pile. So pile number 1 has Harry. Oh, he's falling over. Let's grab hold of him. Pile number 2 has Bellatrix Lestrange. And just think about your person, think about the situation. And pile number 3 has Lord Voldemort. This perfect square head, like a little baby. So whichever character or card pile you feel most drawn to, however you feel best doing picker cards, just go by intuition and not by sight. So whichever one you feel kind of intuitively drawn to, not whichever character you prefer, or you know, which character you feel most like, just feel intuitively where you're being pulled. It's okay if you want to pick more than one pile. And I'm going to start with pile number 1. Hi there everyone who picked pile number 1 with Harry Potter. This is your reading. So we're going to see what the cards have to say to you, and it's going to be advice for you, what you should do in this situation to make things work out best for you. So let's take a look. We've got a healing message from the Divine Circus Oracle, and I'm just going to put that down there because I want to read that last. And we've got quite a few cards today. So we'll start off with our tarot cards. And I don't really use this deck very often, but this is the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid. And I've got the Czech edition, so it's called Tarot Dobra. I bought it in Prague. So let's see. We've got Posel Zemia, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Trojka vzduchu, the Three of Swords. And Paja Zemia, so the Page of Pentacles. So that's interesting that you've got both the Page and the Knight of Pentacles there, but obviously I'm being drawn to the center where there's that Three of Swords card, and so I just want to acknowledge that this is a situation that is and probably has been very painful for you, and I feel like for a lot of you this is going to be a situation where someone has chosen someone else. Maybe you've not even expressed that you have feelings for that person, you've just been carrying it around and keeping it to yourself, or maybe you have told them and they have still chosen to be with someone else, or you've had someone cheating on you. I feel like this is the pile where some of you are also going to be choosing between two people, because we've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles there, and that woman in the center who just looks like she's in pain and like she also doesn't want to cause pain to others. So it's interesting that we've got that mixture of situations here. So with the Page and the Knight of Pentacles, I'm feeling like you're being guided now to look towards your future and kind of get the overview of what's going to move forward and what you want from your future. Because when I think of Page and Knight of Pentacles, I think of moving forward, making plans, so not just like rushing ahead and hoping that everything will work out, but actually making plans for what you want moving forward. It's a very sensible energy from them. So I feel like you are being encouraged to acknowledge this pain and acknowledge this situation and that it happened, and not to feel bad for you that it happened. Like, you know, there are always things that we can learn from a situation, but I think you're definitely being encouraged to look towards your own future now. So I'm interested to see what the Oracle cards are going to say, because I'm getting the feeling that this is like an independent future, but we'll see. So your romance angel is honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So that's interesting, because normally when I get the honeymoon, I think of going somewhere with someone, but I'm always also drawn to the kind of the time aspect of that card rather than just the spatial aspect of us being here in this space. So I'm thinking like it's saying to you, take this time that you have now to review the situation and consider this time where you're maybe not talking to this person, or you're not getting to see them very often. Consider it to be a blessing and use it to plan what you're going to do moving forward. Let's see what the other cards say, see if they're going to back me up. Because this is what I do, like I don't want to look at the cards beforehand, because I don't want to go into the reading with any preconceptions or ideas of what I believe is going to come up. I just want to go by my intuition and the cards. But then sometimes I worry that I'm getting it wrong and that the cards are going to kind of say something further down the line. Let's actually look at your inner child card. Okay, so this is Four of Hearts, so Four of Cups here, and this little mermaid at the front is crying because she was guiding this ship to safety and now it's sunk, so she feels like she's been a terrible person and she feels like she has failed and like she's lost something as well. And this heart locket that she has broken in half, and she's just really upset. She feels like life is going horribly wrong. This wasn't what she envisaged for herself. She feels awful. But she doesn't notice her friends here with these beautiful dolphins coming to rescue her and cheer her up. So this is a nice feeling, group number one. I'm feeling like things are going to get better for you. You're just not able to see it yet. So take heart in that. That's a nice message. And I'm seeing you as just being like really personally affected by this situation. Like I think you've really taken it to heart morally as well. Like I think it's made you feel like you are in some way a bad person, or that you are in some way unworthy. And so I just want to tell you to completely drop that opinion of yourself straight away, because that's not true. We all have different things to learn in life. So yes, okay, good, I'm on the right path. So this Sacred Traveler Oracle card says view from above, get the big picture. So like what I was saying about looking at the overall idea of where you want to go moving forward, it's kind of like, I love the hot air balloons. They really make me feel happy whenever I see balloons or hot air balloons. They just give me the sense of freedom. So I'm feeling like here you are in your own personal hot air balloon, and it's quite interesting that there are two other ones there, and this is a third party reading. So this feeling of, actually, I'm choosing to look at where I want to go now, and I'm choosing to look at what the world has to offer me, and you can go your way and you can go your way, and I just want to see where the world is going to take me and what positive experiences I'm going to have moving forward. Okay, so your Les Vampire Oracle card says rebellion, upstart, tumult, revolution, and it is the number 33, if that has a meaning for you. Obviously we've got the 3 here as well with the 3 of Swords, and then we've got the 4 there. And then this Dixit card, I don't use these very often. They're not actually oracle cards, they're from a game, but I use them as oracle cards. And we've got the 3 wands that are trying to fit into the same lock, and obviously only one of them will get there. So whenever I get this card, I think of like the 5 of wands. Did I just say that there were 3 wands? I meant there were 3 keys. But yeah, I think of this as the 5 of wands and like that competition energy where everyone is trying to be the best and be the person that's going to win the prize. So I just want to say, like, remove yourself from this competitive situation, because I feel like it's really tearing down your self-esteem, and it's tearing down the way that you think about yourself. And it's like you've stopped thinking of yourself as being a good person, and you've just started seeing yourself as someone who is acting out of ego or acting out of jealousy. And I feel like you hate that about yourself. I honestly feel like you're not happy with what this situation has made you do or the way it's made you think. And so this rebellion card, going back to this, is saying take a stand, separate yourself from this situation, be brave, be rebellious, and allow yourself to do that, because that's going to bring you so much positivity moving forward. Like, honestly, group number 1, I see so much happier things for you on the horizon. And it's just drawing my attention again here that this gondola is being rowed by an angel, and it's like you don't even realize because you're not looking at it, but you have these angels around you, you have these positive energies that are coming to save you just around the corner. And it's like if you just turn around, you'll realize that they're there. So I feel like it's going to come very soon for you. I love this card, this feeling of just allowing that wind to take you away from the situation, being brave enough to disconnect from that and to just say, okay, universe, angels, my guides, everything, God, whatever, just take me out of this situation. Like, maybe you could do a meditation where you visualize yourself just kind of parting ways with the other people in this situation and getting into your own hot air balloon and just taking off. And maybe then you'll be able to visualize where the wind is taking you. I think that would be a really beautiful meditation to do. I want to do that now. That sounds really nice. Just this idea of drifting and going wherever the wind wants to take you, and just seeing those people and that situation become tiny, tiny little dots on the ground until they're not even visible anymore, and until you're so far away from that place that you can't even see any of the buildings or anything because you've just drifted completely away from it. I really love that idea. So let's look at your healing message from the Divine Circus Oracle. So this is Lady Luck. This is so nice. Okay, I'm going to read from the guidebook, because if you watch my channel, you'll know that I love Alana Fairchild's deck. Well, all of her decks, and I'm in awe of the way that she writes her guidebooks. I think she's incredible. So let's see what this guidebook says. It says, Lady Luck is on your side. A change of fortune is in store for you, a twist of fate that is meant to be. You're a winner, baby. You are about to hit the jackpot. Do you think that luck is something that only happens to other luckier people? These mythical lucky people, am I right? Your attitude can attract luck to your side, no matter if you once thought you were the unluckiest person alive. Luck is attracted to a certain type of consciousness, an attitude, a belief that life wants to help you and has the infinite power and creative imagination to do that in endless ways. Attracting luck means being open to the genius of life, which works itself out perfectly, bringing benefits to us again and again, even if we have no clue how, where, or why it operates the way it does. When Lady Luck appears, you are being given a golden ticket, a lucky break, a change in fortune that was always meant to be for you, that was in your stars. You can turn this lucky break into a lucky streak that stays with you for a long, long time, or even forever, with your attitude, your belief in the goodness of life, and the generosity of your spirit. Feel the thrill, the gratitude, the joy of being a winner, and thank the universe for it with the following affirmation every day. Luck will visit you soon, and it will love being around you so much it will decide to stay. So I'm going to look for this affirmation now because it's on the next page. Okay, so it says, I love luck and luck loves me. Side by side we be, best friends for all eternity. That's a really cute little thing. And it says to say it 3 times because 3 is a lucky number. So I love luck and luck loves me. Side by side we be, best friends for all eternity. And repeat that as often as you wish. So let's put your charms on top now, group number 1. It does really feel like you're being encouraged to step away from this situation, and I know that that's not an easy thing to do, and that's why I'm glad that we've got this card here that's kind of recognizing that it is a rebellious and a very brave thing to do, to extricate yourself from a situation that you've put so much energy into. So what advice do you have for group number 1? What should they do in this third-party situation? Okay. So let's look at what these cards say. So we've got some initials here. We've got U and P, and those spell up. So they could be first names or surnames or place names for you, but like I'm just loving that they spell up when we've just had that symbolism of the hot air balloon floating away from the situation. And also it's making me think of the movie Up, if you've ever seen that. I think it's Disney, but DreamWorks as well. And they also have like these balloons that take them up, and it's just this feeling of, I don't know why it makes me feel so happy. It's just this sense of relief and freedom, and the idea of just watching your situation and your worries and the people that want to bring you down, just watching those disappear as they become smaller and smaller. It's just such a lovely image for me. Okay, so what else have we got? So very nice. We've got the word believe. And we've also got the swallow. So this is nice as well. I feel like your luck is returning to you, and also your self-esteem as well, because I don't think you always felt this way. I don't think you always considered yourself to be someone who would act impulsively or someone who was not a good person, but I feel like you've been made to feel that now by the situation. So that swallow is making me think of like the good times coming back, which is really nice. Can see here also the hen. So this is a sign for anyone born in the Chinese year of the rooster. It's also got symbolism of the mother coming in there. So I don't know if you have children or if you are hoping to in the future, but there is this sense here of maybe being worried that if you don't try and get this person, that you won't have that opportunity again. For some of you, it's also about being henpecked. So maybe the other woman in this situation, if there is one, is very controlling, very overbearing, and so the masculine is kind of under the thumb and just does whatever this woman does because he wants an easy life. Some of that will resonate with some of you. Just take that how it resonates. I love this. We've got the 6 of Wands charm, this hallelujah feeling. Good things are on their way. And honestly, pile number 1, I feel like you're not going to have to wait very long for it. It feels like with this imagery here, it feels like it's just around the corner for you. And like I'm getting excited because it feels like it's really going to come soon for you. We've also got this little fairy sitting on the moon. And this is weird because it really reminds me of the DreamWorks logo, you know, that guy who's fishing on the moon. And when I look at this, I think of someone waiting for their dreams to come true. But that's weird that we were just talking about Up, and I said I think it's DreamWorks and Disney, and now someone's going to prove me wrong and say it's not. But it's just weird that we got that synchronicity there. So I'm also seeing the Christmas tree. So I wonder if something happened around winter time for you, or when things are going to really even out for you and you're going to be able to just feel like, okay, life is back on track. I'm also seeing 2 crosses. So when I get the crosses, I think of having faith and knowing that you're protected right now. Because I think a lot of times when we get so entangled in these kind of situations and so entangled in the mundane, we forget that we're actually surrounded by these divine beings, and we feel like we're very alone and that we're going through the situation on our own. And I just want to tell you that you're not. You have this protection around you. So we've got the thistle as well. So this will resonate with some of you as being a Scottish connection. So someone with a Scottish name or surname, family history in Scotland, or some connection to the country of Scotland. For some of you, this person will also have red hair, because that's also what I associate with the thistle. I also think of someone who's very prickly, like this person who doesn't want you to get close to them, who kind of has that barrier up. And I'm seeing the shield as well. So when I think of the shield, I think of someone being very defensive, someone kind of putting the wall up when you try and address a situation. And it could be you that's doing that. It could be you that's in this kind of self-preservation mode, or it could be one of the other people. And we've got the rocking horse as well. So this feeling of we're going backwards and forwards in this situation, but we're not getting anywhere. We're just, you're saying things, they're saying things, and it's like we take 2 steps forward. No, 1 step forward and 2 steps back. I don't know why I always get that wrong. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's like we feel like we're making some progress, or like there's some reason for hope that this is going to work out, and then it's like bam, they say something or do something that just brings you straight back to the ground. So we've got the explosion here as well, which is like this thing happening very suddenly, you suddenly choosing to take a stand and make a change. Also got the scissors, you know, telling you to cut those ties, cut those cords that are binding you and that are keeping you a prisoner in this situation. Realize that you have your guardian angels around you at all times. They never leave your side. Got a worry doll here, so obviously this is causing a lot of stress, a lot of kind of mental anguish. But we have also got a frog, and when I get that little frog, I think of someone who's a good friend. So I do wonder if you also have friends like in this world who are able to help you and support you, because I was taking that to be more like a spiritual feeling of support and like these more divine beings around you, but maybe you do also have like good friends that are willing to support you or to talk through the situation with you. Seeing the autumn charm there as well on Lady Luck, so maybe that's when your luck starts to change, and then when we get into winter, it's that feeling of okay, I'm really stable again now. And the baby pram. So again, bringing it back to some of you wanting to have children, but when I get the baby pram, I think of making long-term plans for your future. So that brings us back to the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles that came out at the beginning. So now I'm going to put your dice on top and see if they can expand on this reading. So which set of dice are we using for pile number 1? 1, okay. And if you're new to my channel, I use quite a few different divination techniques to put a big reading together. So this is the fantasy story cubes. And let's see, how many of these dice are we going to roll for route number 1? Just 1. Let's see if we can get some more. If it's 1 or 0, I tend to re-roll. Okay, 4. Okay, I'll accept that. But I don't want to roll, you know, all 9 dice in a set if only 4 of them are going to give you any kind of message, because it would just be not helpful otherwise. So what advice do you have for group number 1 in their third party situation? What should they do? Okay. Okay, nice. So I'm seeing that helmet there, and I want to match that with that shield about the defensiveness and putting up that wall and kind of armoring yourself against people and situations. I'm also seeing a god dice. So when we get a god symbol in my readings, that means this god is calling out to you and wanting to help you. So that's Hermes or Mercury, and he is the messenger god in the Greek and Roman pantheons. And it's interesting that he came out on that page, and pages are messengers, so that's curious that that landed there. But he's wanting to help you here. So if you want to pray to him or light a candle and say a little blessing or ask for his help, or if you want to meditate and also ask for him to come in and give you some guidance or some support, then please do so. It's very rewarding to work with a deity closely like that. And then here on this rebellion card, I'm seeing the labyrinth and the crown. Okay, so the labyrinth is making me think of you being very entangled in this situation, feeling very lost, feeling like you don't know how you could pull yourself out of this. The crown is telling you to prioritize you. That crown always to me is a symbol of free will and reminding yourself of your true worth. You deserve to be treated like a queen, like a princess or a king or whatever you want to think about, whichever feels like it has more of a resonance for you. Just remembering that this is all about your choices, your free will, your strength and ability to make those decisions that will affect you. You know, don't think about how it's going to affect other people and what they're going to think of you or how they're going to be emotionally affected by that. Make the choices that are right for you. Don't put your emotional stability to the side. Don't put your needs to the side just because you really like someone or just because it would make someone else's life easier. Always put yourself first. So that's what I'm getting for you from this reading, group number 1, and I really hope it was helpful and that it's given you a different way of looking at the situation, as well as some clarity and some things for you to think about moving forward. It's also nice that you've got this kind of emphasis on independence when you've chosen Harry Potter, who is the protagonist in that series. That's a nice little synchronicity there. So check out the description box if you're interested in any of the decks, because I'll list them. I always list them below, which decks I've used. Or if you want to donate to the channel or help out in any way, there's loads of ways you can do that. There's some links in the description box. It would be great if you would check out my Amazon wishlist or my Patreon page especially. Anyone who wants a private reading, as I said before, the link to my Etsy page is there as well. Check out a few listings there because I've got quite a few different ones and there are some quirky ones that you might enjoy. And have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been so lovely to pass these messages on to you. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there everyone who picked pile 2 with Bellatrix Lestrange. This is your reading. So we're going to see what the cards have to say to you about what you should do in this situation to make things work out the best for you. So we've got 2 healing messages from the Divine Circus Oracle deck, and I'm going to put those there because I want to read those last. And we've got quite a lot of cards today. So you got the double card with the Divine Circus, and also you got 4 tarot cards, and I was only looking for 3. So let's see what you've got. So we've got Slunce, which is the sun. Beautiful energy there. Page Vody, the page of water, page of cups. Poustevník, that's the hermit. And Eso Ohně, the ace of wands. Okay, so I feel like this situation so far, and I haven't looked at any of the cards, so I don't know what the rest of them are going to say, but I'm feeling like it's telling you to step away from this connection and open up to new connections moving forward, because that sun card is making me think of standing in the light of truth and allowing yourself to be open, and then it's next to the page of cups there, which indicates like a new person coming in specifically for you. And then we've got that hermit, which is making me think, okay, stepping back from this situation, analyzing it yourself and using this time wisely to think about the situation and what you want to do moving forward. And then that Ace of Wands is telling me that there's going to be positive things for you in the future moving forward that you can get excited about. So I'm going to see what the rest of your cards say, because that's an interesting message so far. So your romance angel is separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Yeah, so like what I was saying, this to me fits in with that Hermit card, this feeling of shutting that person out and choosing to move forward for your own self. So your inner child card is wishing upon a star. So that's the star card. It's nice that we've got the star and the sun there. And we've got, this is Aquarius energy. We've also got Virgo here and all of the water signs. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I like this card. This is saying now it's your chance to make a wish. So if you want to pause the video and just make a wish, like imagine yourself dropping that coin into the wishing well and making a wish for yourself moving forward, then please do that. Because I feel like it's saying get excited about what's coming up for you in the future, because with that Page of Water, that Sun card, that Ace of Fire, it feels like there's a lot better things coming for you outside of this connection. So that's telling you just to have faith and have hope and know that things are going to improve for you personally as you move forward. You're going to heal from this. You're going to heal from the wounds that this situation has caused. Because I feel with that Page of Water card, there are some emotional wounds there. There's a feeling of maybe being treated unfairly, or a feeling of being, I don't want to say like emotionally abused, because it might not be that strong for you, but I'm just feeling like someone really being inconsiderate of the way that their actions would make you feel, and that causing you a lot of pain. So your Sacred Traveler Oracle card is overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. So that's nice. So we've got this big rock in your path and a sword that wants to be pulled out, like King Arthur with the sword and the stone. And this feeling of, okay, you can overcome this. You can overcome this situation that's left you feeling upset or unhappy. You can move into that light of the sun, into that Ace of Wands energy where you're excited about what's coming forward for you. Really cool. So your Les Vampires Oracle cards, you actually got quite a few multiple cards. I mean, look at this. I feel like maybe quite a few people will choose this pile. So, okay, here we've got nobility, honor, high standards, idealistic, and call for help. Reach out, need for backup, admit your needs. Yeah, so this is making me feel like set higher standards for yourself and don't compromise on those standards. You know, idealistic, honoring those high standards. Choose to see yourself as a queen, as a princess, as a king or a prince or whatever you want to see yourself as. Like, set those standards for yourself and don't accept any less. And then this call for help is saying don't completely isolate yourself. As much as I feel like the cards are telling you to step away from this connection, it's like don't forget that you have friends and family that want to help you, and that if you call them and say how you're feeling or what you've been through, there will be people there who are willing to listen and who are willing to give you some support. So this feeling of not being prideful in going through it alone, you know, admitting your needs. And that can be very difficult for a lot of people to actually admit that they need some support or that they need some help emotionally to get over a situation. So I got some Dixit cards now, and these aren't oracle cards, they're from a game, but I use them as oracle cards and I don't use them often enough. I really should use them more often. So we've got this woman who is dancing, like she's a ballerina, but she's dancing on the water. And she's not sinking in. So this again is making me think of like rising above the situation and choosing to be beautiful and graceful and wonderful and this perfect self that you are, and choosing to shine like that and rise above this situation. Yeah, and focusing on you here, focusing on what you want to do and hustling and whatever it is that you have as your goals. This person is chopping up carrots and then she's putting them in the pot and they're turning into bars of gold and also into into notes as well. So that's a nice image there of you kind of gaining abundance through working on your own stuff. So I feel like you are being guided to step back from this connection and to open yourself up to other connections, but also remembering that in that in-between time where you are in this hermit mode and you still haven't quite pushed this rock off the edge of the cliff, remember to ask for help, but never lose that faith that that wishing upon a star card is giving you. So let's see what your healing messages are now from the beautiful Divine Circus deck. So we've got Brilliant Virgin. That's a beautiful card, and that really works in well with the message of this spread. And Tiger Angel, that's one of my favorite cards from that deck. I love the artwork. Like, this is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's incredible. It's so, so beautiful. So I'm going to read from the guidebook, because if you're new to my channel, I love all of Alana Fairchild's decks. I love how incredibly she writes her guidebooks, and I can't say it any better than her. So I'm just going to read her own words. So Brilliant Virgin, first of all. In a world where we are bombarded daily with differing opinions and ideas, remaining true to you and your own point of view is nothing short of brilliant. Let go of confusion, distortion, comparison, and compromise. You do not need to compare yourself to another or measure up to anyone or anything else. What matters to you and your successful life journey is to be in touch with your own truths. Know what you feel, no matter what anyone else says or believes. Stay true to you. So it says, the Oracle of the Brilliant Virgin brings you a message. Stay true to you in your course. Do not allow yourself to be swayed by another, no matter how well-meaning their intentions may be or how impressive their arguments may seem. Sometimes we have to trust that we are enough, that we have goodness, value, and worth, and so are worth the time, effort, patience, and commitment required to transform our ideas into reality. You see, know, feel, and believe in something that is good, pure, and true that needs to come to life in this world. It is meant to be original, so people may not get it straight away. It is meant to happen through you because you understand it in a way that others may not. This could be a choice to do with health, lifestyle, relationships, money, or work. It could also be a project, an idea, a creative expression, dream, or vision that you are growing in your heart. There are times when it's wise to open up to creative collaboration and to compromise for a group venture to move ahead. What is that saying? Like, compromising to allow this third-party situation to continue. This is not one of those times. Don't be afraid. Some people believe that unless you compromise, success cannot happen. This is not true for you at this time. So do not water down the strength of your vision, your dream. You are meant to be birthing something unique into being. The world needs your originality. Pray for courage and trust yourself. And that is such a beautiful, beautiful message. And you may not be able to see it very well on camera, but she is surrounded by all of these tiny little butterflies. And what I love about this card is that it's so subtle. Like, the colors aren't bright or flashy like a lot of the cards in this deck are, because it's a circus deck. This woman knows what she wants. She has that truth inside of her. She doesn't need validation from anything else or from anyone else in the world. There's a kind of a high priestess vibe there, but it's saying don't settle, don't compromise, and know that this beautiful idea that may seem like an idealistic idea of love or of lifestyle, of relationships moving forward, know that it can come about. So ignore the people that say, well, you never find someone that's like 100% right for you, or your dream, your idea of your business or your creative thing, it's never going to come across. It's never going to materialize. You won't make money from that. Ignore those people. Follow your own path and don't compromise. So let's look at Tiger Angel now, this beautiful, beautiful card. It says the universe needs you. It needs your strength, your guiding hand, your devotion, your goodness, and your protection. There are people, projects, ideas, and hopes that need your encouragement, your optimism, your nurturing. You have helpful healing power in you. Be confident enough to be gentle, and your inner power will uplift and protect many in this world, keeping them safe and inspiring them to trust in love. We all have moments where we wonder if we are doing such a good job at this great game of life. The idea of helping others might appeal, and yet when we have our moments of struggle in our own lives, we may question whether or not we are a good candidate to protect, guide, and nurture others. When the desire to create a positive contribution to the world exists in your heart, you must remember that such a desire was placed there on purpose, for your life purpose. The universe knows what you are capable of and believes in you. Even though you don't always realize it, you have the light of an angel and the fierceness of a tiger within you. You are capable of so much more than you realize. One of your spiritual gifts is the art of invisible influence. This empowers you to guide others without breaking the spirit of those you lead. You don't need to tell others what to do or how to be. You can simply hold a vision of them in your heart, a vision that sees them being and becoming all they can be. Your influence becomes powerful in the lives of others based on how you choose to live. Even if you don't say a word, your presence assists. Maybe your invisible influence extends to your family, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, or your clients. It might even be the world at large you are helping, simply through how you choose to think and be in your life. There is a truth in your heart, the truth that knows every being is loved and deserves to feel safe and live their life in freedom and truth. Your adherence to this truth can tame even the most fearful and resistant thoughts within you and the people around you. Remembering the ability you have to calm the heart and empower the soul creates a feeling of security within you. Your invisible influence also helps all beings to remember that there is no need for fear and that together we can create a world where all creatures are happy and free. That's really, really beautiful. It really seems, group number 2, that you are here to do some kind of mission in life. You are here to achieve something and to make this world a better place. And I think that's why we've got so many images here with light in them, like the sun, that lantern there in the Ace of Wands, and that star card. It's really feeling like you, by choosing you and by choosing to only accept the best for yourself, you are setting an example to others, whether you realize it or not. And it's like people are going to follow your lead. So that's really, really interesting. So I'm going to put your charms on top now. So what advice do you have for group number 2 in their third party situation? Okay, so just checking that we've got, no, we haven't got any initials here. Okay, that's fine. So let's see what we've got. We have this chair, and this to me is that symbol of being firm and sturdy and stable, like you being the person that is this firm rock in the situation and isn't going to bend. You assert yourself and it's like your word is final, essentially. And I've also got this lovely free will crown on the Brilliant Virgin. So what was I saying about choosing to see yourself as a queen or a princess or whatever? This is just a repeat of that message, and you might actually want to watch pile 1 as well, because there's a lot of repeated themes here that we saw in pile 1. But this is basically saying don't settle for any less than the best, and remember to only make the choices that really resonate with you. Don't let anyone else affect or influence the choices that you're going to make that affect your life, because you are the sovereign here. This is your life and you have control over it. So don't let anyone else kind of push you off the driver's seat in your life, essentially. Don't let anyone else influence you that much. We've also got the snowflake charm, and that's interesting because it's landed on this card where there is some snow and this winter imagery. So I'm wondering if winter is going to see a big change for you in this situation. Can also see the yoga and meditation charm. So this is just telling you to stay grounded and to have that practice that will keep you grounded and mindful in this situation. And I want to connect that with the Hermit card as well, that feeling of spiritual practice being healthy for you. And then there's the Black Knight. So this is about someone who's not opening up about their feelings and about what they need. So I think that's just reminding you, you don't need to armor yourself to the world. Although you can shut this door on some people, that doesn't mean that you have to completely shut out everyone and not let anyone see what is going on within you. It's fine to admit your needs and to admit that you're struggling or that you need help, because I'm being drawn here to another helmet. So this helmet again is saying that although you're going through a tough time, you're feeling the need to shut others out or to not explain to people what you're going through. And I just think that you would find it more helpful and more healthy if you were able to open up about that. So then we've got the fire extinguisher as well, and this is talking about putting an end to a crisis situation in your life, putting an end to a situation that is causing destruction and is causing a lot of anxiety for you. And then we've got the happy couple here and the blessings fairy. So blessings are on their way. You will find someone that is a good match for you and who is willing to put in the 50-50 relationship. They're willing to do their 50% share. I'm also seeing the starfish. So this is a symbol of healing for me, because when starfish lose a limb, they can grow it back. So it's like recovering what you've lost through a situation, becoming whole again and healing from that. So I like that they all came out together. And then we've got a God charm. So if you're new to my channel, whenever we pull a God charm in a reading, it means that this deity is coming out to you and wants to help you in your situation. And this is Aphrodite or Venus, this little seashell. So it's the Greek and Roman goddess of love and beauty. So it's intriguing that all of those have come out together. And I think one of the big things that Aphrodite teaches people through the mythology is to respect yourself and your body and your being, and to never settle for second best, and to never put yourself second or last in a situation. Like, again, just that reminder that you're the most important person here and that you really need to empower yourself. So I'm seeing this charm, which for me is like the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets. So in the second Harry Potter film, the entrance is like this circular door with snakes all around it. So whenever I get that, I see it as being like you've opened a can of worms, you've gone through this experience that has been like battling a monster within you. It's been like this really upsetting and painful, traumatic experience, but you needed to have it. Like that overcoming obstacles card that it's landed on is saying like you needed to overcome this so that it would make you stronger, because that message there is saying you can overcome anything. So the monster is out of the chamber now, the cat's out of the bag, you've dealt with it or you're dealing with it, and you're going to move on and be a lot stronger because of that. So we've also got this little pumpkin, and that's the symbol of autumn and Halloween. So I feel like for you, and interesting because pile one, it was the same. They also got that charm and then a winter charm. So that's curious. I think things are going to really change for you around autumn time, and then you're really going to get back to this feeling of wholeness within yourself around winter time. Things are going to stabilize for you then. Now this ram is the Aries charm for me, but it's also a symbol of stubbornness. So landing on that hermit card, it's making me think, are you being very stubborn about shutting out people who actually want to come in and help you? And maybe it would be helpful if you were to open up and let them come in. Beautiful butterfly. You are transforming, you are going through this evolution of the self. This time spent in the cocoon is going to be transformational for you. When you come out, you're going to feel a lot more confident, beautiful, happy, optimistic about life, like that butterfly energy. And your last charm is 13.1, so that's half a marathon, and it's got this arrow here that's saying keep going. So it's saying that you're halfway there, like you're halfway to getting your life back, essentially. Just keep going. So let's do your dice now. Which set of dice are we going to use? 4. Okay, that's the Looney Tunes dice. You can open them. These ones. And how many of these are we using today? Also 4. Okay, interesting. So, if you're new to my channel, I use a lot of different divination techniques to put together a reading, because I like to get repeated messages in things. So what is your advice for group number 2 about their third party situation? What should they be doing? Okay, nice. Yeah, so I'm seeing the disguise there again. That's making me feel like you are hiding the fact that you've been going through a difficult time, maybe because you feel like you don't want to upset your friends or your family by telling them, or maybe one of them is going through a tough time and you don't want to take that energy and that support and attention away from them. But it's really saying, you know, admit that you need help, admit that you need that support and that comfort around you, and that you need someone just to be able to listen while you tell them what's been going on for you. You've also got this traditional like Looney Tunes scene where someone has painted a tunnel on a wall so that someone is going to run into it and knock themselves out. And so this is making me think that someone has been deceiving you in this situation. So I think for you, this is a situation with cheating, or where someone has been making you believe that they are totally going to commit, or they're totally over that person, and that's not actually the case. So I feel like they have been quite unfair to you by making you believe something that they knew wasn't true. And then there's these stars that normally comes out when people are fighting in Looney Tunes, and so that's just making me think of the animosity of the arguing, but also thinking, don't get dazzled by those stars. Don't let that blind you to the situation. Don't get caught up in the he said, she said, and just realize that this situation, you've not been treated fairly. And lastly, the Acme box. So it's got an arrow on it and it says this way up. So this to me is saying things are only going to get better for you from now on. Things are on the up as far as you're concerned. Fortune is taking a positive change for you and things are going to get better. So take heart in that. And I actually want to tell you, if you didn't do it earlier, go back to where I'm holding up that image of the star card and make a wish, because I feel like you deserve it. Like, you've totally been through a tough time, and I think the universe wants you to make that wish for yourself and for your future. But things are going to get better, group number 2. So please try not to worry and try not to give any more of your beautiful energy and time and affection into this situation. Only put it where it's going to be fully reciprocated for you, this lovely happy couple, and landing on this card about setting high standards for yourself, you know. So yeah, lovely messages to give you today, and I'm so pleased that you clicked on this video and that you stuck around. And again, just thank you for joining me. Like, it's really been lovely to pass on these messages for you, and I hope it's been helpful for you and that it will help you think about your situation and give you some clarity and a different perspective on what's been going on for you. So if you want to help out the channel, please do check out my Patreon page and the other links in my description box for ways that you can show some support for me, like my Amazon wish list, my PayPal link, for example. Or if you want a private reading, I've got my Etsy page in the description as well. Just remember to leave your question, your email address, and the names of everyone involved in that question when you book a reading. And have a lovely rest of your day, group number 2, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye, take care. Hey there everyone who picked group number 3 with Lord Voldemort. This is your reading. So we're going to take a look at what the cards have to say to you as advice. So what you should do in this situation to make things work out the best for you, okay? So we've got a Divine Circus healing message for you today, but I'm going to leave that there because I want to read that last. And we've got quite a few cards to get through. So let's look at your tarot cards first. So we've got Poselv's Duhu, which is the Knight of Swords. Velekněžka, which is High Priestess. And Čtyřka ohně, which is the 4 of Wands. Okay. So we've got the air signs represented here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, if that has any meaning for you, but don't worry if it doesn't. What I'm seeing here is that you should be speaking your truth in this situation. If you have feelings that are going unspoken, or if you feel like someone has really been treating you in a way that is unacceptable, you need to speak up. Like, this Knight of Swords is telling you, open up that throat chakra. Like, she is kind of extending her throat chakra there to open it up. And so it's saying, you know, speak your truth, because this High Priestess is making me think that there are things you're keeping inside in the hope that things will just kind of work out without you having to say them. But this is saying speak your truth. Like, I'm almost getting the sense of, if there's someone that has been cheating on you, or that you think has been developing too much of an interest in someone else, or if maybe you have feelings for someone and they kind of know this but they're still looking at other people, I would say, like, give them an ultimatum. Like, let them know where you are and how you're feeling about this, and how the way that they've treated you has been unacceptable, and that you're not going to accept that for yourself anymore. And basically after that, it's like saying, well, then you've given them that ultimatum, you've played your hand, and then they can take it or leave it. Like, this Four of Wands energy is making me think of harmony, that giving you a lot of peace when you've spoken your truth, and when you've been open and honest about how you actually feel in this situation. So I'm feeling like, let them decide and give them that ultimatum, because if they choose someone else over you, then it's their loss at the end of the day. So let's look at your Romance Angel card. So this says soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Okay, so you do have this soul connection with this person. That is why you feel such a strong pull to someone in this situation, why you feel such a strong connection with them. It's because they are a member of your soul family, one of your soulmates in this lifetime. And your inner child card is the Lovers, which is Hansel and Gretel here. And so that's interesting as well, because this is like, they're holding hands, they love each other, they care about each other, although they are brother and sister in this story. It's this feeling of like the kind of unconditional love that they have for one another, and they need one another as well, you know. They neither of them would survive the situation with the witch and being cast out into the forest if it wasn't for the other one. So they needed to have one another there. But it's also making me think, like, if they're not giving the 50-50, then it's not that viable relationship. You know, if you're being this kind person who's always looking out for this other person, and they're just running away and like taking stuff from you and going, oh thanks, and then like running off, or they're hanging around you but they seem disinterested and you're just keeping on giving, then it's not a viable relationship. So just think about that. And I can see that there's definitely a strong connection here, and that there's definitely love on both sides. But I feel like with that Knight of Swords and that High Priestess there, it's about giving them that choice to know that that's the last chance they're going to get to make a choice. Because what I'm feeling from your energy is that you've been waiting around, and maybe you've given them like several chances. Like, maybe you told them how you felt and they rejected you, and you're thinking, well, I really care about them and we can still be good friends, and hopefully one day they'll change their mind. And it's like you keep giving them these chances. So I feel like if you make up your mind to give them that final chance, and know that after that, if it's a no, then you're walking away, or if it's a yes, then they have to make some kind of movement forward of their own accord, then I think that would give you actually a lot of peace. Group number 3. So your Sacred Traveler Oracle card, you've actually got 2. We've got Joy and Delight. Open your heart to joy, this lovely little fairy. And that's bringing me back here to Hansel and Gretel, like this kind of childlike wonder and enjoyment of the situation. And we've got Miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge. That's a really lovely card. So I feel like things could go well in this situation, but it's almost like you've just got to start respecting yourself, and you've got to start standing up for yourself here, because it feels like this person has honestly been kind of walking all over you. That's what I'm feeling from your energy, is that you feel pushed to the side, or you feel like you're the person that keeps making compromises, and that this person is just like snatching or taking, or not valuing the compromises and the sacrifices that you have made for them. So your Les Vampire Oracle card is Eternal Youth, Energy, Newness, and Vitality. That's interesting, because I was just saying that there's this childlike imagery going on here, and then we've got this eternal youth card. Yeah, I feel like there is potential for this connection. Like there's a feeling here of it's not over yet. There's still this vibrancy, this energy here. But I wonder if the person that you're dealing with is actually quite immature. So then we've got this Dixit card, and I don't use these often enough, and they're actually not oracle cards. They're from a game, but I use them as oracle cards. So let's see what this picture is showing. Okay, so there's this character who has these crystals or gems in a sack on the back of his car, and he's running away from this monster who wants to kind of snatch it back. That's an interesting image, because normally when I see this I think of like escaping, and I think of, you know, getting away from someone who is toxic or abusive in some way, or just wants to take your energy from you, if we see this as being your energy field because it's green like the heart chakra. So I feel like what this is saying, group 3, is that, you know, giving this person this choice to make and letting them know that it's their final chance to make that choice. And if you feel like you're being unfairly treated, and you feel like that the way that they're treating you or the way that you have been treated in this situation is not in line with your standards and what you would want your best friend to accept for themselves, or what you would want your sibling or your parent to accept for themselves, if they were explaining this situation as if they were in it, what you would tell them to do, then get out of there. This is what this is saying. Like, if you feel like you're just giving and not getting anything back, and you feel like this person is just, you know, not treating you in a way that is acceptable, if there's hurt being done there, if they're being cruel, or if they're really causing you a lot of pain, get out of there. Because I think for some of you this could turn into something more positive, but it feels like you're going to need to stand up for yourself, and you're going to need to put your feelings and your needs and your standards to the forefront. Because I'm really getting like quite a childlike but also quite a mean energy from the other person. And I don't know if they mean to be mean, but it's like they just do things that have been causing you a lot of pain. And I feel like you've also been giving and they've been taking, and that's not a relationship. There has to be equal give and take in the relationship, if you see what I'm saying. So let's look at your healing message and see what that has to say, and then we'll do your charms and your dice. So this is Rare, Raw, Real, and I'm going to read from the guidebook because I love Alana Fairchild's decks, and I just think it's incredible the way that she writes her guidebooks. Okay, so Rare, Raw, Real. It says, there is a unique beauty in you that wants to shine through. It is different. It might not be pretty, neat and tidy, and you might even feel vulnerable about sharing this real, unveiled you with the world, but do it anyway because the world wants to love you. The rare, raw and real you. So that's interesting. That's reminded me of that High Priestess card, which was making me feel like you're holding a lot back. Maybe not just in this connection, maybe just in general you're holding a lot back. It says it's time to peel back the layers and unearth the real you. Naked, vulnerable, real, beautiful. With every layer of hiding and protection removed, you'll encounter whatever it was that caused that layer of self-protection to be built up in the first place. Maybe a sense of shame, fear, hate, anger, or doubt. These feelings might seem so confronting that you'll wonder if they are a sign to back off. If you can affirm your love for yourself and a willingness to be patient while you become ready to be known and seen and loved for who you are underneath those layers of pain, then you'll find it easier to let them fall away. As this happens, there will be a revelation of a rare, raw, and real you that you didn't even know was there. So pure, so powerful, so precious. The inner light of you will shine through, like a lantern suddenly illuminated, with the radiance of you lighting up the dark. Revealing the true you isn't about exhibitionism or putting yourself on display. Someone could walk naked on a beach, completely comfortable with their physical appearance, and yet not be in touch with the true beauty of their soul, their radiance dulled, and their authenticity a mystery even to them. The oracle of rare, raw, real comes to you if you are one of those special ones capable of dropping the defensive posture of perfection, of holding genuine compassion and goodwill towards yourself and others, with a willingness to be shown who you are. Rather than reacting with fear to being judged, you choose to treat this revealed self as a precious divine creature, to be loved and nurtured into full aliveness. In being brave enough to do this, you help empower others to be their true selves as well, to be less afraid of what makes them different, to embrace their uniqueness and feel the divine dignity that is rightfully ours when we choose to be simply who we are. That's a really beautiful message. So it does feel like you are holding back parts of yourself. Maybe you're not even aware of your true nature because maybe even in childhood you had very difficult experiences that led you to put up layers of protection and kind of put on a brave face to the world, and that's caused you to kind of live inauthentically for a while. And maybe there is a feeling there within you of disconnection, of like not really liking yourself or not really understanding why you do certain things, or not really feeling that deep connection to your soul. Let's get your charms on top now and see what else they can tell us here. So what should pile number 3 do in this third party situation? What advice do you have for them? Okay, let's look for initials. So I'm only seeing one, and that is V. So that could have a meaning for you as a first name, a surname, a place name, but don't worry if it doesn't. That might only be for a few of you. Okay, so I'm also seeing the guardian angel. That's really pulling me in as well. So this, just know that you are being watched over. You are being guided very closely by your angels at this time. So here there's the word love. And again. I dropped it. And these 2 hearts that I'm just throwing across the floor, across the table even. These 2 hearts that are kind of intertwined. So there is love on both sides. Like I said, there is this feeling of love here. But like I said, it's whether it's enough to stick with this situation. We've got the pine cone, and this is the symbol for the pineal gland. So this connects to the 3rd eye chakra. And that is something that's very developed within the High Priestess, which is the card that landed on. So learning to discern what is truth and what is lie, and also learning to have that deeper connection with the divine will help guide you through this situation, whatever you choose to do. I'm also seeing the teddy bear here. So that's a symbol of nostalgia and sentimentality. So I wonder if you're feeling like you should stick around in this situation just because you're so used to this person and because you have such a long history with them, or because you have so many shared experiences and memories, and you're thinking, well, I don't want to trade that for someone that I haven't met yet and who I would have to build that whole foundation with again. That's what I'm feeling there for a lot of you. So we've got the steering wheel, which is about the tide changing tide, and we've got the pirate ship as well. So this nice repeated imagery. Pirate ship being all about adventure for me, and setting off on that adventure. We've got the skeleton here. So skeletons in the closet, you have things that you are needing to deal with from the past, and that might be connected to this situation, or it might not be. You know, there are sometimes things that we're carrying around from childhood or from previous relationships that are still hurting us, that are still weighing down on us. For some of you, there will also be past life situations that are still causing a lot of pain and which need to be dealt with. So shaking those skeletons out of the closet to make way for new and better things. And we have the divine masculine image here. So like I said, there is a strong connection with this person here. I'm also seeing the knight as well. And the key. So you will find a solution here. This situation will resolve itself, so try not to worry about how that's going to happen. Just have faith. I'm seeing that, just being drawn to that now, that cross with the heart on it. Have faith that things will resolve in the best way. The hairdryer here is saying that someone is blowing hot and cold in this situation. Someone doesn't want to make a decision. Find joy in the journey. That's telling you just to enjoy every day and not worry and stress about where this is going and where we're going to end up. Because we have 13.1 here, and that's nice because another group got this as well. And this is saying you're halfway there. This is half a marathon, 13.1 miles. And there's the arrow there saying keep going. So you're halfway there. This will resolve itself. You will come out the other side. But I feel like you've got to give that choice to that person and see whether they are going to take that leap for you or whether they are just going to remain stuck in this situation. I'm seeing the spider web here. Someone feeling trapped. That could be you or them or both. But I'm feeling like it's whether they're going to allow themselves to come towards you or whether they're just not worth your time and energy, essentially. And another group got this as well. So this interesting because we've got the Harry Potter characters on the piles today. This is the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets. That's what this looks like to me. This circular entrance with the snakes all around it. So this is saying you've had or you're going through this situation where it's like you're fighting this monster either outside of you or within you, and it's like you've opened this can of worms, this chamber, and you've let out this horrific thing. But you needed to go through this situation. Whenever this comes up, it says this needed to be done. Find peace in the fact that you needed to have this experience, no matter how difficult it is, because it will make you stronger when you come out the other side. You'll be able to look back and go, as much as it wasn't fun for me at the time and as much as it caused me a lot of pain and a lot of heartache, I'm glad I went through that because I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that experience. So just know that when you get out the other side, looking back again at that 13.1 and at that lovely key, when you get out the other side, you will feel a lot better about your situation. And then we have the lone wolf. So he's calling out for his pack, his friends. Is this making me feel like you want that support around you? You just want someone who is going to be there for you and who is going to want to take care of you and just listen to your problems, listen to what's going on in your life and just be there. And you will find it, whether it's with this person or not. Like, I'm strongly seeing you will find it, group number 3, but it's just, again, it's just about what you're going to accept for yourself and what this person is going to choose. Because I feel like this has gone on for long enough now, and you just need to make that decision to say, okay, we're doing this, and it's like the outcome of this is final, if you see what I mean. And we've got intelligent as well, which is Gemini. So the repetition of that air signs that was coming out here, and also the lovers is Gemini. So that's come out 3 times. So I'm going to put your dice on top. Let's see which set of dice we're going to use. 2. So that is the original story cubes. These ones. And how many of these dice am I rolling? Group number 3. 7. Okay. So if you're new to my channel, I use a lot of different divination techniques to put together a reading because I like to see the repeated symbols and messages. I think it can be very validating. So what's your advice for group number 3 in this situation? What should they do in this third party situation? Okay, let's see. Okay, so we've got 2 towers here. And these towers, they're not like the tower in the tarot. They're very firm and stable and solid. So this is telling you to stand firm in what you say and in what you believe in and in what you express. Don't let yourself be bent to anyone else's will. There is a lot of attraction in this situation. We've got that magnet there that's validating that. But you're afraid of this situation, and I think there's some self-esteem issues here, because this is someone who's afraid of their own shadow. They're afraid of asserting themselves. They're afraid of what the future will bring. They're afraid that they are not going to be enough for someone in a romantic situation. So there's some inner work that needs to be done, I feel, and if you are already doing that, then well done you. That's an incredible step to take to actually go on that healing journey, because I know it throws up a lot of stuff that we would maybe prefer to forget about, but it needs to be dealt with. We need to shake out those skeletons so that there's room for someone who's actually alive, you know, not carrying around these past connections and past situations anymore. So I'm also seeing this person who's asleep. So I wonder if there is just like a laziness on that other person's side of just wanting to take the path of least resistance, if you see what I mean. So if they are already in a relationship and they know that you like them and they like you as well, it's like, oh, I don't want to break up the relationship because that will cause a lot of issues for me and that will like be a lot of hard work. It's like on their side there is a laziness and there's an unwillingness to do something that might work out better for them in the long run, but which is harder. They just want to do the easy thing, whether it makes them happy or not. And these people are so frustrating, because I've known a few people like this as well, who like, whether it's in love or in work or just in their life in general, they just will not help themselves. And it's hard to do anything with someone like that, because you can't make someone help themselves if they're not willing to, if you see what I mean. You can't help someone who won't accept help or who won't take the initiative and do something for themselves. So I'm seeing the parachute there as well, this feeling of like bailing and like dropping out to somewhere that's more happy and more fruitful. And the shooting star as well, which is saying that a wish will be granted for you, things will be better for you in the future. So I feel like what this is saying to you, group number 3, is make that conscious choice that you're going to give them an option and they can choose to take it up or leave it. If they leave it, that's it, you're done. No contact or low contact, you're walking away. Let them deal with the consequences of their actions or inaction. If it's a yes, if they choose to say, okay, I want to be with you or I like you or whatever, then they have to prove that. They have to take some steps towards that. So they have to, you know, leave the person that they're with if that's the case, or they have to show commitment if that's what the issue is, or if they're texting someone else and that's what this third party situation is, then they have to show that that person is blocked and that there is no contact there. But if not, if they're not prepared to take that leap for you, then you're going to take that leap for you. That's what I'm seeing with this parachute. It's time for you to make that choice for yourself and know that things are going to get better in the future, that there is a bright future out there for you with that beautiful star. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading, group number 3. I hope it's given you some clarity and some things to think about in your situation. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been lovely to give you these messages about your situation. Please do let me know in the comments below how it resonated, and don't forget to like, share with a friend and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And if you want to help out the channel, please do check out my Patreon page and my other links like my Amazon wishlist that are in the description box. That would be so lovely of you, and I'm so grateful to everyone who's done that so far. You are truly so kind and generous, and you really help out the channel a lot when you do that. And for anyone who wants to book a private reading, there's my Etsy page in the description as well. Just remember to give me your name and anyone else's name who's involved in your situation, and then leave me a question and your email address so I can send your reading to you when it's ready. And have a lovely rest of your day, group number 3. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.